Hey there, gamers. Welcome back to Bandit Souls Scripted Gaming here. We are playing New World Aeternum, wanting to bring you some advice to do in this game. So, as most of you know, show you some of the basics. We're going to get into something pretty deep here, so follow with me on this. Now, when you come in and you are wanting to beef up your character, let's go into our character stats here. That is going to be under attributes. So as you can see, strength 80, intelligence 55. A lot of this is blue. How am I getting this line up? We're going to show you that today. You want to find something and kind of bounce it out. If you're using two different types of damage types, like I am, strength and intelligence, which is for intelligence for the fire staff and strength for the great axe, maybe thinking I'm not generating enough points to get those up. So I'm going to show you how to be able to dual wield these types of devices without having to worry about not having enough strength or enough intelligence here. You want to pick one that you're going to beef up using just the points you get in the game. But then the other one, you want to come in here and use Glyphs. So we are actually in a Marauder Commander faction. If you're wondering exactly what are the Marauders, what are the Syndicate and the factions in there, it kind of shows you what they are. Any of them is really pretty good. We went with the Marauders. I don't know, I just like the way they look a little better. That's just kind of where we're at. If you're wanting to join us in game, you're part of our Discord, or maybe you're just tuning in, hey man, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Let us know you want to join our group. We're going to get you in Discord. Now there is in-game chat with this as well, and we also use Discord chat, so those are some pretty great options in the game. But we are in a US East server, so that means United States East server. You have to make sure you're in the same server with us, and we are playing in the world of Pangea. Yes, it matters. Right now, there's no way to change worlds. They do let you do that later. A lot of the PC guys can move over, so you probably have that attribute where it's on the consoles. We don't have that option yet, unfortunately. So make sure US East and Pangea join in. We'll be able to get you into the group with us, guys. So, all right. Without further ado, let's show you where to get the glyphs. So you're going to be doing some of these missions in here. We'll go ahead and pick this one up here too. But you get rewarded these little points. Now they have a glyph. This is in the very first thing. The soldiers, once you start opening this up, you have Marauder Seal, the Rangers, the Scholars, the Sage, and the Seal Extractors as well. So you can take seals off using an extractor. This one here does strength. So what I'm doing is I'm adding strength seals to my stuff. Once you get those, you can pick them up. Like I said, they're only 9 gems a piece, so get you quite a few. It takes 1 per piece of armor. Now, when you come to the forge, keep in mind what area you're in as far as what faction you're in. You're going to look at a few things here. So we are, that's not the forge. Here's the forge. So we went through and did a lot of our armor already. But what you're going to do is, so like if you have a Marauder Gladiator breastplate, keep in mind this stuff has to be metallic. It has to be certain items. So look and see what's in this list before you go buy a bunch of stuff. You're going to pick it up, and then it's going to tell you what you can do if you've got the soldier seal, if you've got the gladiator breastplate, or the Azoth stones and stuff like that. You're going to put it on there. It's going to add strength to it. That's going to boost up that stuff. Now you can do that with intelligence, or whatever you want to do with your glyphs. But that's what you're going to want to do here. And the same thing when you get into like championship gear, same stuff you can add to it. You can use that one to remove certain glyphs and then just double up on strength if you prefer. That's completely up to you guys. Like this one here is going to give you 30 extra strength. So you wouldn't have to add anything to it, but you could if you really wanted to. And that's really going to help beef you up as well. So my suggestion to you while you're playing the storyline, if you start to notice the enemy is the same level or getting pretty close to the same level as you, pull off, come over to your syndicate faction. You're going to want to pick some stuff up from your commander, these missions, and just run these missions. They're usually pretty simple, like this one here, defeat a Starstone Warrior at the burrows. You got to do 12 of them. It's just running around killing stuff. It's teaching you how to do mob grinds. Basically, it's making the mob grind part of the mission. Get military roster from Starstone Guardian Javelineer. I don't know. And then you have the Meadow Lake Fishery search chest for weapons. And you just do those missions. You come in, turn them in. It gives you those points. Now, there is a maximum amount of those points that you can get. I am close to having gladiators completely done. So what I'm doing right now is waiting. Like I said, I didn't bother with the Ranger. I didn't really bother with a lot of the gladiator gear right now. There's a few things that I went ahead that I went with. But we're close to the Ravager, so what I'm going to be focusing on with Ravagers, I will make sure that the equipment that I'm buying, which will be such as the armors and stuff, so here would be like a Marauder Ravager breastplate, I would put this on, and then I would also add that extra ability with the strength glyph. Same thing with the helm. Buy that, add that strength glyph. Same thing with the boots. Now, right now I'm using like shoes. You can't add it to shoes. You have to have the boots, which would be like right here. So, see, I'm using Marauder Gladiator Shoes of the Century. Well, you don't want to use that. You want to use a... they should have a boot in here, guys. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, right there, Ravager boots. You would use that, and you could add that in there. But you want to double check that list over there to Forge. But I hope that kind of gives you an idea of how to add these things so you can kind of start building your character up. You may be wondering, why is my axe got a nice red glow to it? It's got fire and stuff. Well, that's because we're adding these gemstones too. As you can see, there's gemstones that you get in the game. You want to take and go to... It's called, let's see what the name of the station is, the outfitting station. Go over there, you're going to be able to carve your gemstones. Now you're going to start with flawed, and then as you level up and you level up the outfitting station and your abilities, you'll be able to do better gems, and that's going to give secondary and even more depending on how many gem slots are on this thing. So there's one gem slot, we've added the incendiary or fire damage to it as well, and then of course we have our fire staff. I added nature damage. Maybe wonder, well, what is nature damage? Well, nature damage is actually pretty cool. Let me show you what this is. It not only attacks the enemies, it attacks the nature around you. So the more you use this, when you get into certain areas, it will actually kill all the grass and even trees and stuff that's in the area. It just completely just demolishes everything in the area. As you see, it kind of pulled it in. The more it's used, if you get enough people using this, you can actually clear a big swath of an area out on this game. Pretty cool stuff. As you rank up and you start adding extra abilities to it, make sure you add those things. It helps to just really suck the health out of it. Now, they have what's called smoldering damage, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it because there's not an enemy here, but whenever you fire off this thing and you start like using the flamethrower, you'll start to see these fireballs. They start circling around you, and they just start colliding with the enemy, and every time they hit, it adds more smoldering effect, and they catch on fire, and then this other special kicks in that is called... Show you what this is called here. This is why I love the fire staff. It's just OP. Backdraft adds so much stuff. An extra 50% damage. 2 meter radius. If you're in a really large area and you fire off your flamethrower and you start really hammering out some enemies, and you can be switching between that and different effects, you know, running around and stuff, just hitting everybody and just fire that back off. It's going to create more smolder balls that are floating around, and it can just decimate an area with the enemy. So I do recommend that you focus on some fire staff. At least give it a try. When it comes to the battle axe, I like the great axe. Now there are hatchets and stuff like that. It's probably a little faster, but I do like some of the effects that are on here. Yeah, so just some really, really, truly awesome stuff. But yeah, that's what my recommendation is to you today. So I hope this little tips and hints helps. Y'all have a wonderful day. We're going to hop off here.